He stood at the edge of the pool. His toes were curled around the very edge and just stared down at the water. He didn't want to get in. He didn't know what it would be like. We all were hanging on the edge of the pool, bobbing up and down in the freezing cold water and waiting for him, encouraging him, telling him to get in. It would be so much fun. Strapped in his life vest, he finally dipped his toe in the water. It's cold, it's cold. We know, but come on in, it'll be fun. Finally, he stepped down onto the first rung of the ladder, and it was amazing. He was gonna get into the pool. Then he stepped down again and again, and finally got into the water. Once we convinced him to push off the edge of the pool, the side of the pool, that's when he became a fish. He was always swimming, doing everything. It was amazing to see the transformation. Lots of students wouldn't really want to swim because they would get their hair wet and they'd be wet the rest of the day, but that was my favorite part of the day. And the student who wouldn't get in the pool at the beginning, he was the one who would swim around after you the entire class period, splashing you, so you were guaranteed to get your hair wet. And it was probably the most fun part of my day every day when we went swimming. That's what made me realize that I wanted to be a special ed teacher, working with students with disabilities in that class. If I missed school, I would notice I'd miss all of this other stuff, but I would miss gym the most because I didn't get to see my friends in adaptive PE. I want to work with students who have disabilities. I think that students with disabilities are sometimes underestimated. I believe that every person can learn. It's just the way you teach the material and the way they're able to show their knowledge. That's what makes them a little bit different. And different's not a bad thing. Different's just different. I think it'll be important as a teacher to make sure that I'm teaching to the individual student. They each have their own specific needs, and I think it's important to make sure that you keep that in mind with a student with a disability or really any student that you work with. I also think it's important that for whatever student you're working with or students that you make sure that they know that you care about that student. If you don't show that you care about them and you don't show that you care about what you're teaching, they're not going to care either. And it's so important to really be caring and passionate, understand where the student is coming from to really help them succeed and to help them learn. In order to help them learn, you have to make sure that you know what you're doing. So as a teacher, you have to be prepared, you have to be organized and get everything set, but it's also important to know that you're never done learning either. My strongest belief is that every student is smart. I worked with a student once that I was getting really frustrated with, and he just was not doing his work and not doing his work. He was avoiding it, and he was getting really angry with me, and I just looked at him and I said, "You can do this. I know you can do this. You're smart." And he gave me this look, and I realized, I asked him, no one has ever told you were smart, have they? And so he just didn't realize that he could do it, and I think that we have to show the students that every student is smart. I'm ready to help all those students realize that they're smart and get through the challenges of school, dip their toe in the water, feel how cold it is, but once they're ready to get in the water and really just learn as much as they possibly can. I'm up for the challenge.